Teenage pregnancies and teenage motherhood are a cause for concern worldwide. From a historical point of view, teenage pregnancies are nothing new. For much of human history, it was absolutely common that girls married during their late adolescence and experienced first birth during their second decade of life. This kind of reproductive behavior was so ill desired and considered as normal nowadays. However, the prevention of teenage pregnancies and teenage motherhood is a priority for public health in nearly all developed and increasingly in developing countries. According to more recent studies, teenage pregnancies are not very risky ones. A clear risk group are extremely young teenage mothers, younger than 15 years, who are confronted with various medical risks such as preterm labor and a small social disadvantage such as poverty, unemployment, low educational level, and single parenting.
The biggest issue facing women and girls in the Philippines is teenage pregnancy, based on data from the World Bank as seen in the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, also known as UNFPA, January 2020 policy brief on eliminating teenage pregnancy in the Philippines. There are 47 annual births per month, 100 Filipino aged 15 to 19, with a global average being 44, and every day 500 adolescent girls are either getting pregnant or giving birth.
I'm Beth, 17 years old. Being a teenage mom is hard. Just because I had to hold my studies and start working so that I can provide my baby's needs. That's the main reason why that I can't maintain my studies well and had to work hard and take good care of my baby. It all happened when I was 16 years old. My friend invited me to a birthday party and he offered me a drink. As long as I remember, I was heavily drunk at that time, and he took advantage of me. I was stupid. I can't believe that I trust him so much.
I am Linda and I am 16 years old. It all started when my friends influenced me into drinking and many other stuffs that are not nice. I already know that it would bring me nothing good, but I still was not able to resist the temptation. It is quite hard for me since people in our community judge me because of my current situation. Every time I pass by, they would stare at me or they will start murmuring. I'm still a student and I have no source of income to buy my child's need. So I know that when the time comes, it will be harder for me because of the extra responsibility that I will have. When my parents first heard the news, they were very disappointed at me, but still they decided to help me through this.
Teenage pregnancy is still happening until this present day. Some of the reason is the lack of parental guidance as well as the influence of people around them. To lessen this in the near future, we can introduce sex education to the students, mostly teenagers, since what a child learns about sexual health can largely affect their own views in sex. A friendly reminder that it is not a bad thing for you to want to create your own family, but there is the right time for things like that. Once again, your reporter, Zairil Darusong.
I'm gonna ask you a question about teenage pregnancy. First, what is your name?
Nelaan Valerio,
And what is your occupation?
healthcare worker.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Why teenage pregnancy is still spreading not just in our country but in the whole world?
Kaya madaming kabataan ang nabuntis ngayon sa panahon natin dahil na sa social media, katulad ng Facebook. Sila ay nakakapanood ng mga malaswang video o dahil na rin dyan, may mga boyfriend sila, nagagaya nila yung napapanood nila sa video sa Facebook.
We asked some random students What can they say about teenage pregnancy? As a student, what can you say about teenage pregnancy?
It's a big problem for our country and for our high schoolers, because mostly teenagers don't finish their study because they get pregnant at a young age, and it's really a big problem for our country. Thank you.
The main reason of teenage pregnancy is the lack of parental guidance. Nowadays, teens do what they see in social medias and other medias that they think is cool. Another reason is the lack of sex education. We need to enlighten the teens because their generation is so much different than the others, because teens now are more curious and bolder about doing such things.
How can you prevent the teenage pregnancy?
Dapat before you do things, pag-isipan muna natin mabuti. Tapos, wag mo muna natin gawin mga masasayang na bagay dahil bata pa tayo.
How can you prevent teenage pregnancy?
I think we should we should be careful when being intimate with our partner to avoid mistakes or teenage pregnancy in order for our future to be secured, especially if we can't raise a child at a young age.
Thank you. How can you prevent teenage pregnancy?
We can prevent teenage pregnancy by sharing information po, especially po sa social media, which is masyadong ginagamit po ng mga teenagers ngayon. Yun po.
Thank you. How can you prevent teenage pregnancy?
Siguro pag-isipan muna natin yung mga bagay na ating gagawin bago natin gawin ito, and sumama tayo sa mga seminar tungkol sa teenage pregnancy para mapag-aralan natin kung ano nga ba yung mga ways para ma-prevent ito, no? Yun lang.
Thank you. Causes teenage pregnancy.
For me po, nagkakos po ng teenage pregnancy is siguro po is lack of knowledge ng mga teenagers and lack din po ng parental guidance. Yun.